Hello and welcome. I am Triple Helix, and this is the Binding of Isaac Wrath of the Lamb edition, version 1.48, I guess. Now, if you happen to not know what the Binding of Isaac is, it is a roguelike from the development minds who made Super Meat Boy, or one of them anyway, Edmund Mcmillan, the one who did all of the art design for Super Meat Boy, and he was behind this game too, as well as Florian Himsel, I believe. Yep, this is the game, and then the music was made by Danny, that guy, Baranowsky, I guess. I always thought it was Bronkowski. It's Baranowsky though, and I absolutely love this game. It's a really good game, and I highly recommend you buy it. I'm just going to say that right off the bat, and I'm also going to say that there may be potential spoilers in this because when you start off the game, you start off with just the character Isaac, who you have to work your way down to a certain floor, and then the game ends. But I've unlocked stuff past that, so there could be a bit of spoiler in here. And as you can see, I've completed the game. I've 100% of this game, but it is still an amazing game to play. I've sunk well over 160 hours into this, and I'm sure if you have had any interest in the Binding of Isaac before watching me, you've probably seen one of my favorite YouTubers, Northern Lion, play it. And I'll link to him in the description, so maybe you can check out some of his stuff, because he's got some really cool stuff, and he sort of inspired me. He's been one of my inspirations in starting this whole, Let's Playing thing. So, for now, we'll just start, and I've unlocked everything, as I've said, but I'll just do a run as Isaac, because I feel like it. I haven't played this game in a long time. Now, all you need to know for right now is that this is a roguelike, which means that, for those of you unfamiliar with the term, when you die, you lose all your progress and you go back to the beginning, and you might be thinking, well, that's kind of stupid. How long is the game? For me, to get to the very last floor, it usually doesn't take more than an hour. So, and it doesn't take more than. Sometimes it can be like 30 minutes. I think my fastest was somewhere near 16 or 15 minutes. So, it's not that much. And I'm also going to say, before I start this, if you haven't played the game, or you haven't seen anybody ever play the game, I highly recommend you don't watch me play this. I highly recommend that you just stop the video now and go play it yourself, because it does have a bit of... The bosses that you encounter are kind of interesting past one of them, who I won't detail now. You might get to see me fight them. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to make it, so... enter at your own risk. Now, basically all we have to do is... When we enter a room, if there are any enemies in it, we have to kill all the enemies, which we can do by firing tears at them with the arrow keys, and we move around with W, A, S, and D. We also have, if you see in the top part of the screen, we have pennies, or money, bombs, and keys. Keys are used to unlock doors like this. So like this locked room. And that, if you check right next to the icons, you can kind of see a bit of a map. That tells you what rooms there are and what rooms you've visited. Wow, that is an amazing item to pick up right off the bat. I think. Is that what I think it is? I think it's quad shot. Yes, it is quad shot. Yes, this is a really good item. This basically quadruples your damage, which is, pretty good for a first room. Now, another quirk about the roguelike genre is that everything is randomly generated, so you'll never come across the same run twice. You'll always get something different. There's well over 100 items in this game that you can collect. And a lot of them are unique. A lot of them have interesting effects. They're not just, different stat upgrades. Some of them are, but there's quite a few that do that. This room right here you can enter at the cost of half a heart to walk through, and another half a heart to leave the room. And I'm going to not go in there because I don't have any way to regenerate my health. The life meter up there, every time you get hit, I don't think enemies can do more than a heart of damage at once. Usually they only do half a heart. Ooh, that was terrible damage. And the game ends when you die. Although you can pick up health upgrades, and stuff like that along the way, so... It's not hopeless. I'm taking terrible damage. I haven't played this in a long time. And at the end of every floor, because I haven't mentioned that yet, you come into this boss, and when you kill the boss, you kill all their enemies first. That's probably a good idea. They're dead. Then you get an item from them, and that's the door to the next floor. Now, do I want this? If you look where it says space, my spacebar item, after you beat one of the bosses with a certain character, I know I'm speaking in terms that probably no one understands here, but I might as well say it, because seriously, I'm warning you right now. If you don't want anything spoiled for you, leave right now. Are you gone yet? Alright. So for those of you who do know, basically, you beat the chest, or not the chest, you beat Mom's heart with Blue Baby, and you get the D6 for Isaac, which lets you reroll items. So if there's an item you don't want, you just reroll it. But I will take this item because a Tears upgrade is pretty good, because my Tear has been slowed. That's a pretty terrible tarot card. And yes, there are pickups. There's these tarot cards, and there are pills, which you'll see later. Pills are certain colors and have random... That's a pretty good pickup. And have random effects every time you play through a run, so it's not going to be the same thing every time. Tarot cards do a certain thing depending on which one you pick up. This one allows me to spawn a slot machine, which I can use to get money, bombs, and stuff like that. So, in terms of what I think of this game, I really love it. As I've said, I've sunk over well over 160 hours into this game, and I'm still enjoying it. And that's something that I really like about it, is that because of its random generation elements, it makes it a lot of fun to play over and over and over again. Although I will say, it's not... If you're the kind of person who doesn't like to lose because you just got a terrible run, this isn't a good game, because this one sometimes... Whoops, I pushed the spacebar by mistake there. Trying to reach for a key. Alright. Not going to take damage on this boss. But that's one thing that... Oh, this is terrible. I'm just stuck. But that's one thing that's a bit annoying, is that there are certain times where it's just like you cannot win. Or you could. It's just very, very, very hard. Sometimes the game makes it very difficult for you to win. But I'm okay with that, because it's balanced more or less, and it's a lot of fun. Now, this also has the Wrath of the Lamb expansion with it. Not just the... Wow, I'm getting really good items. Not just the vanilla Binding of Isaac game, even though the vanilla Binding of Isaac game is really good. Now, what is right here, if you can complete a floor under certain circumstances, which basically I've equated to a few things, but all I know for sure is without taking any damage, or red heart damage anyway. The blue hearts that I've been picking up are basically spirit hearts, as I call them, which are only there until you lose them. As soon as you lose them, you cannot replenish them. So, unlike red hearts, where when you lose them, you can pick up more red hearts, you can pick up as many soul hearts as you want, but as soon as you lose one, they're gone. But if you go through a floor without taking damage, you get this devil room, which you can use to trade hearts for items. Now, both of these items are tarot, I think. This one right here basically lets me restart the floor so I can get double the items. This one basically lets me summon a random person to fly around me who does a random thing every couple of rooms. And it's not worth it, because I'd rather keep my dice, so I'm just going to leave. Now, that usually disappears once you leave, but I'm kind of hoping that I can get a charge for the dice before I have to leave the floor. Also, on every floor, there's a shop, which is a penny in a room, and an item room, which contains a free item that's, you know, totally random. And it's always a good idea to go to the item room on every floor, because, you know, free items are always a good thing, because you need the items to survive, because as you move down the floors, the game gets much harder. And eventually it becomes where, you know, you're just fighting nothing but bosses to get through rooms. But, oh. Now that right there, that blue rock, that's a tinted rock. If I blow that up with this bomb, I get what's inside of it. And it's a spirit heart, which is pretty good. What is that? I don't know what that one was. I know that there's a few shots. I think this one is speed, and I don't really want speed. So I'm going to re-roll that and get Peeper's Eye, which is pretty good, because that gives me more damage. And it sends an eye flying around the room. Now this is a very gruesome game, I'll say for sure. It's, it also has some very... The story in it is actually really interesting, too. Like, if you just look past the lines, which basically at the beginning of the game, you get a little cutscene about Isaac and his mother. And his mother was told by God that she needs to kill her son. And, you know, Isaac heard it, and he didn't want any of that, so he jumped down into his basement to try and survive. But there's an interesting story that you can find if you just read past the lines a little bit, which, you can figure out for yourself, because I'm not going to spoil it here, because it's also just theory. It's a lot of theory. It's sort of got a story like Limbo does, where, you know, it's anybody's guess what happened. Now, this is a pill. Its effect will not be known to me until I take it. So, you know, let's do it. Telepills. Alright. Telepills basically just bring you to a random room. You know, it's not really it's not that bad. They're not good pills, really, but they're not terrible. They could be a lot worse. There are pills that just flat out hurt you, or remove a heart from you, which can be a bit of a pain. There's also secret rooms around the place, and I'm going to try and find one because they're always in some sort of surrounding room. Let's see if it's in there. I did find it. And I can also go get those. Oh, it's just a slot machine. Sometimes there can be some really good items in there, and a lot of money. And if I haven't explained what the shop is well enough, basically you can go in there and you can purchase items. So I think, there's not really that much else that I can think of doing on this floor, so I guess I'll just head down to the next. And that's when every 2 floors, the environment changes, like the type of level you are on changes. It goes from basement to caves to depths to something else that I won't spoil until we get there, if we get there. I'm not sure. I haven't played this in such a long time that I'm not sure I will have the capabilities, although the run has been very good to me so far, so it's quite possible that we will. I'd like that. I'd love to be able to beat this on camera. Then I could, you know, prove my worth. You know, I'm thinking I would really love to do a Let's Play of this because I'm running out of stuff to showcase for you guys, and considering that I'm putting out, you know, a new video almost every day. And yeah, actually, on that note, my schedule for this nowadays, let's find out, is this good? Bad gas. That just poisons enemies around you. Doesn't really do that much. Bad trip. That just takes a heart away from you. And if you have half a heart remaining, you can use that to get full health, which can be really useful. But yeah, in terms of schedule, what I'm going to do for my schedule is there will be videos every day except for Saturday. And that's a day that there will not be any videos. If I can get started on like a series, like a Let's Play or something, I'd be happy to do that. You know, put in the comments what you want to see. Like, you know, a Let's Play or something, because I'm running out of stuff to showcase here. I know that there's a few good games coming out. There's Crysis 3, although I've heard that it's ridiculously short. So I'm not sure how good of a Let's Play that would make. I'd love to Let's Play this, but, you know, I think it's been a bit done to death, because I don't know how many people Let's Play this, but I know that there have been quite a few. But yes, I'd be happy to Let's Play this. I'd be happy to Let's Play, I don't really want to do Super Meat Boy, because I feel like I died too much. I'm not sure. Put in the comments what you want to see me Let's Play, and I'll see if I can do it. Or if you want to see this Let's Play, just, you know, tell me Let's Play this, and maybe I can, you know, impress you guys with the skill that I have. Yeah, I'll take this. This is a cube of meat. It just rotates around you, and if you get 4 of them, you can have, like, a walking meat boy. Ooh, this right here, I really like this item. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Let's see. I'm gonna re-roll this just to see what I get. Yes, I will also take that. Now, basically, I've just upped my damage, but I've permanently lost those hearts. That's what happens when you make a deal with the devil, basically. You permanently lose the item, permanently lose the hearts that you give to him. Which, you know, can be a bit of a pain, but for me, it was worth it because now I have ridiculous damage. Now what I picked up Brimstone, which was which is what lets me shoot these lasers for 2 hearts. And there's also, I also picked up the Mark, which is just a damage up, and it also gives me 2 spirit hearts. It's taking forever to charge. I know that since the Wrath of the Lamb, the what's it called? You know, I totally forgot. Give me a second. Brimstone got nerfed, so it doesn't do nearly as much damage. Also, that little thing that's in the top left, the flat penny, that's a trinket. Those were also added in the Wrath of the Lamb. They basically just do something random to your stats that I don't remember. Oh, I'm gonna get stuck here, aren't I? Nah, I'm safe. Oh, yes, I have quad shot. That's why it's taking so long to charge. There we go. Alright, so I'm doing ridiculous damage right now. Which, is definitely a good thing, because the way I see it, the best defense is a good offense. If you can kill the things that are going to hurt you before they can actually hurt you. Oh, that was terrible damage. What's the point? I should probably wait until this charges. My face glows red when it charges. And it just takes so long because I have quad shot, which lowers my fire rate. Oh, that's going to hit me. Ah, just barely missed. Pop up. There we go. Those things you can't hurt unless they pop up. They can be a bit of a pain sometimes. What do we have in the item room? That's, no, I'm gonna re-roll that. Sacrificial dagger, I will take that. That's something that just floats around you and can deflect projectiles. Or not deflect them, it just stops them so it doesn't hurt you when they hit you. I'll take the spirit heart, I guess. I don't really want anything else in here. I'll take the spirit heart and leave. Perfect. So this is turning out to be a pretty solid run. As far as good runs go. Although, with my limited ability to dodge because of not playing for so long, I'm not sure how long this run will actually last. Hopefully I can, you know, get at least to the mom boss fight, because otherwise I'd be kind of embarrassed. Okay, so apparently Flat Penny, when you pick up coins, drops keys. I've kind of forgotten what every trinket does. I'm taking way too much stupid damage. I forgot pretty much what every trinket does. So I'm kind of just trying to figure it out as I go along. But yeah, trinkets are the hardest thing to figure out. They're never really that bad. All I know is that, oh, that's a good item. What is it? Oh, so this is a boss room right here. A boss trap room where when you walk in here, you'll find an item, and you can pick it up, but you have to fight some bosses. And I really need a Tears upgrade. And the only way you can get into these is if you have 1 heart. And it does not count spirit hearts, so and I only have 1 heart, so that works. I'm doing really good damage right now. So now I have to fight now I have to fight the 2 bosses, I think, to get out of here. Which isn't too hard for a Tears upgrade, because I really need one, because I'm finding very slow. Larry Jr. Larry Jr. is pretty easy. The only boss I really have problems with, if I can remember its name, I think it was the Bloat. The Bloat is probably my, you know, arch nemesis in this game. Aside from some of the later game bosses. And a chest. 2 bombs. Perfect, because I was nearly out of those. So, yeah, I'd be happy to do Let's Plays of these. But I don't know if anybody actually wants to watch these, because I'm sure that if they really wanted to watch a Let's Play of this, they've probably already seen other people do it. Or they're just not interested. But, you know, oh, that was terrible. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't worth the penny. I think this gives me a chance to build damage when I kill enemies, so I'm going to take that trinket instead, the Samson's Lock. Which is unlocked for beating the final level with Samson. So I pretty much have every item in the game, so if you're deciding to just go play this now, I think the things flying around, they saved my life there a few times. But if you're just going to go play this for yourself, don't expect to see everything that I have. I'm sure you'll see quite a bit of it, but not everything, because a lot of it is unlocked through consistent play. Just keep dodging. I'm doing better at this than I expected, and the game has given me a pretty good run. In terms of Binding of Isaac run, this is actually a pretty good run, considering that I have ridiculous damage, and my fire rate isn't terrible. Although I would much have preferred Mom's Knife. And if you don't know what Mom's Knife is, it is probably the most overpowered item in this game. Just because Brimstone, I can't hurt anything unless I, charge it, which is kind of annoying. Pop up, there you go. Alright, getting back to full health here. Mom's Pad, that's pretty terrible. I'm gonna re-roll that. Portable Slot, that's probably even worse. Alright, so I still haven't found the boss yet. That's kind of annoying. It's, finding this room a lot. One thing that I think this game does is that it finds the rooms that you're just the worst at, that you take the most damage at, and it keeps giving you those rooms. Also, the colored enemies, they will always do a heart of damage, and they have a bit more health, and whenever you kill them, they will drop something. So, that's always nice. And every room, when you complete it, has a chance of dropping, you know, a heart, a chest, a key, or a bomb, or something. So yeah, with Brimstone and Quad Shot and a damage upgrade, this becomes pretty much just a joke. Not really a joke, it's still somewhat challenging. The game never really becomes too easy. There's always something that can kill you. Except for some of the overpowering items, which are very, very rare. But yeah, the game never really ends. It's always interesting to see how the runs end up, considering, you know, what items you get. That's one of the things that I really love about this game, just the replayability because of all the items you get. Wow, I nearly one-shot him. Alright, he's dead. That was the easiest Chub boss fight. He usually has a lot of health and it's hard to kill. Not this time, though, and there's a health upgrade. Perfect. That's a troll bomb, and that will follow you. Some bombs come out and they're active, and those are just troll bombs. That's a troll bomb that will follow you and hunt you down until it explodes. Perfect, so a health upgrade is pretty good. Should I go back? No, I don't want to go back. That's too much time. I'm trying to make an entertaining video here. Nobody wants to see me backtrack for 3 hours to go reroll an item. Ah, terrible damage. Although I am getting better on health. I kind of want something that I can use to maintain a consistent amount of health. So, something like the nail, which lets me regenerate a spirit heart every 6 rooms, I think. Or the book of Revelations, which does the same thing, except I think that... I nearly walked into those spikes there. I think this just gives me a damage upgrade. I'll take that. But, except for, the... I think the only other thing that would... the nail... I'm losing my train of thought here. The nail also gives you a damage upgrade in that 6 rooms. I'm gonna give this... This guy here is like, you can give him your hearts for... Not permanently, just temporarily, your hearts for... Sometimes he'll give you an item. I'll give him a few of them. Alright, what tarot card is this? The tower. That just blows stuff up. It's pretty much useless. And that's a lucky toe. I don't really know if I want that. I'll give you half a heart more, because why not? Alright. So you're not going to pay out. I guess I'll go in here, which is a bit of a risk considering that I have no health anymore. Although I got it back, so it was pretty worth it. Actually, no. I just didn't lose anything by going in that room. So, you know. Could be worse. Now, we're nearing the end of the main game sort of thing. As in, like, if this were your first run, the end is coming up. So, the final boss, sort of. But it's not nearly the end for me. I have a few more floors to go after this. Quite a few more floors to go after this. And hopefully I can finish the whole game in this run. Although I'm not sure because my health is still kind of low. For this, it's kind of low because as soon as you get past the depths, the next level that you go into, every enemy will do a whole heart of damage. That's a pretty good item. I'll pick that up. I think that gives me a chance. No, this is what happens with this. Every time you get down to a half heart, it will give you an extra spirit heart. So, if I were to find, like, another demon judgment, I would give him some hearts, because then I would get an extra spirit heart. 2 of hearts. That just multiplies your hearts, I guess. So, you know, I'm gonna use this card because maybe I can break these, keys out of here. This just spawns bombs all over the place, which, can be equal parts, you know, beneficial and equal parts dangerous because it can easily kill you. Which, that's never fun. Getting killed by the bombs that you created. No, I haven't actually gotten another spacebar item. Which is kind of upsetting because, you know, I haven't gotten to showcase that at all. I've been running around with my D6 the whole game. I will go to the shop because maybe there'll be a good item there. Ah, no, it's greed. This guy will sometimes appear in shops. There's the 7 Deadly Sins mini-bosses, which you'll find just sometimes randomly in rooms. This game is being very nice with spirit hearts. And greed is one of the ones who you will find in shops once in a while, and sometimes secret rooms. I haven't really been looking for secret rooms, though. Ah, these guys are annoying. Alright. Stay still. There you go. You know, I think this secret room might be right here. Let me see. Is it? Ah, it is. Getting better. That is really good. This lets me fly, and I'm definitely going to take that. Generally, it turns you into a floating head, but sometimes the items, this is running on the Flash engine, so it is a bit glitchy with stuff like that. It's terrible damage. But flying basically just lets you avoid everything. You can still hit enemies, but this stuff that they're leaving on the floor will hurt you if you're not flying. You can fly over pits, you can fly over rocks, you can just go anywhere you want, which is, a very useful item to have, and very lucky for you to pick up. Ah, Monster 2. He's basically just like Monster 1, except he's got the number 2 next to his name. The idea for him, just stand next to him and keep him firing lasers, because if he jumps, you're in a lot of trouble. Oh, he's jumping. Oh, that was terrible damage. Alright, come on. Let's not mess this up here. I've got such a good run going for me. Come on, stop jumping. Shoot your lasers. There you go. If you can just get him to do this consistently, you can pretty much win the fight without any trouble whatsoever. I'm not going to re-roll that yet, even though I don't want it. It's pretty much useless. It's a range up, but considering that this has infinite range, that's, pointless. Let me see what the devil has for me. They're both terrible. I guess I'll re-roll them. This is amazing. I'm going to take this, which, this allows me to convert my regular hearts into 3 spirit hearts, which, this late in the game, when you're going to stop getting health upgrades, is very, very useful. So, 3 spirit hearts. And I'm going to take that with me. You can use it infinite times. Usually spacebar items have a recharge time on them, which you can see by those blocks next to them. This does not have a recharge time because, you know, I don't know. It just doesn't. This is one of my favorite items to get in the game because it's very useful in the later floors when you have like 50 red hearts, and this lets you convert them all to spirit hearts, so you can just basically get rid of all those red hearts that you're never going to use. Because red hearts, Red hearts and spirit hearts later on become essentially the same because red hearts early in the game are easily replenishable and you can get more of them easily. But this late in the game, I have 2 more floors where I'll get items from the bosses. And after that, there's no more items. And the next floor that I will go to, because I don't think that I'm going to die, the next floor that I go to will not have an item room on it. This is the last floor that has an item room with it. So there's no point in looking around for... these things I hate. Although with flying, it's much easier because I can just hide over the rocks and kill them. The AI on these things are amazing. The hearts love to hide, which... that's the only way to kill the masks, and that's always fun to figure out. I think that just gives me this bomb. Yeah, it just gives me a bomb for a spacebar item, which, is pretty much useless. So I'll just keep my, Guppy's Paw. Because, that's way more useful at this point. I'm really hoping to get a lot more red hearts, like to find something like lard or, the liver, which give me 2 more hearts, 2 more red hearts each. And... because then I can convert that to 6 spirit hearts, which is really useful. Because right now, it's coming down to the time where spirit hearts are absolutely vital. You don't necessarily need to convert all your hearts to spirit hearts to win, but it's just, it helps a lot, because spirit hearts, they're basically the same, they're just, they don't drop nearly as often as red hearts do, but later on, you know, there's not that much red heart drops anyway, so having a lot of spirit hearts is a lot better than having just a few red hearts and having to hope that they drop when you're running low on them. I think I'll head in here because this will only hurt me half the time. Yes, it only hurts you when you're leaving. That's good. Let's just go. Alright. Yeah, when you're flying, that only hurts you on the way out. I think that might have been a bad idea, though, because if I don't get a lot of health upgrades, I could be in a bit of trouble, because I don't have any red hearts to replenish anymore. Although I didn't have that much to start anyway, so it couldn't be that much worse. I'm sort of hoping that I can, you know, pick up a health upgrade from the boss. I'm going to try for the item room right here. I also should go to this shop because I have a lot of money. No, it's not there. Yeah, I'm going to go to the shop because I don't think Greed will be in there. Oh, he's not. Alright, the ladder's useless. There's no point in buying that. That lets you walk over one block gaps, but this late in the game it doesn't matter because the next floor there will be no more gaps, and I can fly, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'll just take the Spirit Heart and be on my way. Because right now, I need all the Spirit Hearts I can get, and that was the last chance for a decent item. Although Guppy's Paw could keep me alive, because, you know, it's definitely helpful with the fact that it gives you 3 Spirit Hearts for the price of 1 heart, red heart. And it also lets you enter pretty much any room. That just makes my shot speed faster. I don't think that's any effect on Brimstone. And shot speed, by that I mean like how fast the shot travels across the screen. If I was still firing tears, that's what, it would just speed up how fast it travels across the screen. I think I'll unlock this chest. Don't do this to me. 2 Spirit Hearts. That was pretty worth it. 2 keys for 2 Spirit Hearts. Definitely could have been worse. That doesn't happen too often. Usually when you unlock those gold chests, it's just items or something. Sometimes you can get health upgrades for them. Sometimes you can get just a few small little items. Alright, now let's go fight Mom. This is arguably the hardest boss in the game, aside from like the later game bosses, but for the achievement that requires you to beat the depths without taking damages in like the last 2 floors that I was on, she easily has ruined many of my runs because she has a lot of health, which is kind of hard to tell because I'm doing so much damage to her. She has a lot of health and she spawns enemies and it's very hard to judge it all. But with the damage I'm doing, it's not that hard. She dropped 2 Spirit Hearts. That's really good. Alright, we still have a chance here. Now I have to pick up this if I want to go to the last floor, which I feel is a bit annoying, but you know. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that's terrible. Also, when you get down to half red heart, that will give you invincibility for a few seconds, but since I have no more red hearts, every time I get hit, I get invincibility, which is really useful. 2 of hearts is useless, so there's no point holding on to that. I don't want this because I need to take this down to the next floor. What's this card? It's 2 of hearts again. Alright, I guess I'll just take this. Next floor. Now if you had just beaten Mom for the first time on your first run, you wouldn't actually be able to come down here. You would just beat Mom and that would be the end of the game. But after that, you'd be able to continue down to the next floor and come here. Oh, that was terrible damage. I'm really hoping I can pick up a health upgrade from this boss because... oh, the compass. That's very useful. Yeah, it's worth it. That points out boss rooms, item rooms, and stuff like that on your map. It doesn't give you the room listed. It doesn't list, like, the rooms and stuff. That's what the map does, but this will list where, you know, the actual, like, what the rooms are and where they are on your map, but they won't actually list the rooms. I don't know if I've articulated that correctly. You'll notice, you'll be able to tell what I mean as soon as I leave the room. Now, generally, these rooms are just mob trap rooms, and they just spawn enemies, but this late in the game, they spawn actual enemies. Wow, he hit me from, like, a mile away there. That's just... Alright, whatever. I need to stop taking so much damage, because I'm not going to be able to replenish my spirit hearts, which is kind of important. Although this compass is great later on, because I just need to make a bum rush straight for the boss, where hopefully I can get to him before I take too much damage. Alright, that looks pretty close, actually. So as you can see, my map now has the skull, which is the boss, and the little moon thingy, which is... Oh, that was close. Which is the room that lets you walk into it for the price of a heart. But I don't really feel like I need to go there. Is this a good pill? It's telepills. I'm not going to use those now, because that could be really bad. That could put me... It's terrible. This is also one of my least favorite bosses in the whole game. Alright, it ran into me and killed itself. Nice. Ooh, that's not going... I thought that was going around those rocks right there. That was nearly bad. But, yeah, telepills right now could be bad. It could put me where I don't want to be. Oh, Headless Horseman. That's the worst boss I could possibly be fighting right now. Because... Oh, that was lucky. Because now I'm just going to get, like, a pony, which lets me fly, which is useless. I think I'm going to hold on to Guppy's paw anyway, though, because I can already fly, and that spacebar item doesn't do much. Oh, it did drop my spirit heart, so it wasn't totally useless. But yes, this basically just lets me fly, and if I use it, it lets me, you know, dash in one direction. Like that. But I accidentally ran into the item pedestal, so I picked up my Guppy's paw instead, which is totally fine. So I'm going to hop down to the next floor. And that was it with item rooms. I guess I'll use telepills, why not? That was really good, actually. That put me right next to the boss room. Couldn't have asked for a better, you know, circumstance, honestly. And instead of having to run across the whole thing, I just have to go right here. Now this is where the game gets, you know, a bit more interesting, so to speak, and you'll notice why as soon as I step in the room. It's a fetus. I'm killing a fetus. Now generally it starts as a heart, but oh, that was really bad. Oh, didn't charge that up completely. Nearly killed myself with a bomb there. Now with Brimstone, usually with Tears I can fire some bombs in there to kill the enemies that she spawns, but with Brimstone it doesn't affect bombs, so I can't push them towards her. So I just have to, you know, hopefully fire and hit the enemies. I noticed that there's a pill there. I'm going to wait until the boss is over to pick it up so that way I don't accidentally hurt myself. Now, she'll continue to spawn enemies until she, until you get her down to about half health, at which point she'll start, just firing bombs at you. Yeah, she's gone. I'm hoping I can get her there. Alright, come on, one more shot. Yes, that got it, I think. No, it didn't. I have to kill Chubb first. Chubb. He's dead. Yes, this is generally not as easy as it looks, but Mom's heart is significantly easier than Mom herself, because Mom does a lot, is a lot harder to dodge because she has a lot of cheap attacks, like, she'll reach her hand out from one of the doors in a moment's notice and hit you, if you're standing near one of them. Well, Mom's heart is a bit easier to dodge. She just fires these bombs, and the enemies she spawns are pretty easy to kill. If, you know, if I can just shoot her. There we go. And another spirit heart. That's always a good thing. I wonder what this pill is. Now, oh, I hit the thing. Bad trip. That's useless. Alright, but there were two options. There was the devil room, which would take me down to the shoal. There was a door thing, which would have taken me down to the shoal. And then there was the light, which takes me to the cathedral, which this way is basically, the way I see it, the true end. So I'm going to go this way, because... Okay, that was close. I want the true ending for this. I don't want the, you know, the half ending. There are branching paths, and the cathedral and the other thing that you will see next was added in the Wrath of the Lamb. Otherwise, you will have to go to the shoal. And I highly recommend picking up this game. It's stupidly cheap. It's like $5, and the Wrath of the Lamb is like $3. And personally, it goes on sale on Steam all the time. So if you don't want to spend $5 on this game, you can wait for a Steam sale where it's probably like $1.50. And I highly recommend you buy it. It's very addicting. It's a lot of fun. It's got a huge sense of randomness, so it's very much, you know, you can play through it a number of times, and it's pretty much different every time. Oh, that was a bad dodge. Alright, now here's where becomes another really interesting boss. It's me! I'm fighting myself. Now, he's a bit annoying if you fire a lot of tears fast, but since I fire very slow, because every time you hit him, he shoots out, like a few tears at you. I'm kind of trying to aim my shots here because it takes a long time for me to charge. This could be a bit of a bad fight for me. Although I feel like I think I'll get out of here okay. I'm really hoping for some interesting stuff later on. But, because this isn't the last floor, there's one more floor after this that I have to finish if I want to fully beat the game, which I feel fairly confident I can do. If I can survive the next floor, because I'm not doing that much damage. Or not enough damage to kill him fast. Although my dodging has been fairly competent so far. And I'm not shooting at him too much, so he's not firing too many of his blue tears. Because, that was a terrible dodge. Because every time he gets hit, he'll fire a blue tear at you, and if you're firing a lot of tears fast, or if you're firing something that does continuous damage, that can be a pain. Ooh, that was close. Now is the part where he stops doing that. He'll just call down like these beams from heaven, sometimes fire out those homing tears, and he also has these angel fetuses, which just fire tears at you can be a bit annoying. Drop some bombs in here. Oh, I did get hit. Alright. Oh, when I get hit, I'm invincible. I can just run right in there and hurt him a bit. Alright, get out of there. I forgot that I could do that. Okay. I think this will kill him. Yeah, he's dead. Alright, perfect. I'm just kill the angel fetuses, and we get to go to the next floor. Done. Alright, now generally, this is where the game would end if you have, done everything else to this point, beaten Mom's heart 10 times, and, you got to here. But if you beat the chest 5 times with any character, or basically, if you just beat the chest 5 times, you can get the Polaroid, and if you bring the Polaroid to the chest, this happens. Whoosh! New floor. Now, this floor is the chest. This is the chest, and basically, you get 4 items here to start. Every chest that you open will contain an item from this point on. So that's always useful. And you start off with 4 locked chests, and they can be... these are like your lifesavers. This is what can make or break a run. That's a pretty good item, because that increases my, what's it called? My fire rate. That's a pretty terrible item. That just gives me a few bombs. That's a really good item. That will, boost your damage if you have half a heart left, but as I said, I don't have, any hearts left, so I just get permanent curse state, which is really nice. I'll pick that up because that gives me some speed. That wasn't fire rate, it's just speed and range. And that's Anarchist Cookbook, which is absolutely useless. Alright, let's do it. This room I hate. This room can be a bit annoying if you don't have a... because this poop regenerates, so that room can be a bit annoying if you have... the wrong items. I'm really fast. Yeah, I'm gonna end up killing myself because of my speed here. Just keep dodging, kill that first. Who am I... no, I guess... you can kind of influence which items you get by killing a certain one of these mini-bosses first or last. And from this point on, it's nothing but mini-bosses, except for, like, 1 or 2 rooms which contain a lot of spiders or these brain things. This room is really hard if you don't have a lot of damage / you can't fly because they leave creep everywhere. The stuff that and if you walk on it, it does heart of damage, but everything does a heart of damage at this point, so it doesn't really make any difference. Now, I'm not really certain about how this is going to end up because just of my damage. That's a pretty useless item. That lets you get a red heart every 5 rooms or so. But I don't have red hearts, so can't use it. Oh, this room can be a pain because if these guys get out of sync, it's a lot of trouble to try and get them back into it because they'll kind of just be dancing around and it can be a bit annoying. If you can get them to do this repeatedly, though, it's very useful because then they get out of sync and you're in trouble. Because you never really want these guys to get out of sync because then they'll just spawn a ton of these flies, which when they die, they shoot bullets in the... oh, he got hit. Alright, just gonna run in there, hurt him a little bit. Just kill these flies. Alright, there we go. Get out of there. Kill him. Right. Oh, that was bad. Alright, well, this run is quickly going wrong. Ooh, alright. Don't choke now. Yeah, this is, I'm not sure how much of a chance we have here. We could be in a bit of trouble. That was nearly a bad dodge. Now, this should give me an item. Please be a good one. That's a good item. Yeah, it's a good item, because now I have more stuff blocking me from projectile damage. But projectile damage doesn't really matter. This room can be a bit of a pain, although the widows often jump into themselves and kill each other. Because they do damage to each other when they step on each other. Alright, stop moving! You have to wait for this charge. It's charged. And you're dead. Red hearts are useless, because I can't use those, because I have nothing but spirit hearts. I'd say 2 more rooms to the boss. Oh, that was close. Oh, this is the worst thing that could have happened. Alright, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be... oh, he blew up the secret room. I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna be anything in there. Just trying to dodge effectively. Kill him. Alright. Because he can fire lasers from forward or to the sides at a moment's notice like that. And you... Ah, I ran into his eye. I can't tell which is his eye and my eye. Alright. This has to be a good item or we're in a lot of trouble here. That's a really good item. That's a health upgrade. So now I have 6 hearts. Yes! That could have just saved this run right here. I'll put a little money into this machine because I might get something. I don't think I'm going to put that much in there. Just put a little bit more. 1. That'll be it. Alright, let's do it. I'm fairly confident. Now, this is, basically the same boss the second time, but a little bit more difficult. He has a little bit more health, and he fires out flies everywhere. And also homing tears. But yeah, with our permanent invincibility when we get hit, or our temporary permanent. Every time we get hit, we get invincibility. And that only works if you have nothing but spirit hearts. We can just run in there and do a lot of damage to him, which I forgot to do with the last boss fight. So, yeah, I feel like we're going to win this, which would be really incredible. Alright, come on, just keep dodging and keep hitting. All we got to do. Okay. Nearly messed it up right there. So this looks like we're going to win here, which is actually really good, because this is the first time I've played in, you know, a few months, actually. This is, that's actually pretty incredible. But, you know, we can still mess it up like I just did there. Alright, let's just stand there and aggravate him a little bit. Just keep dodging. You know, we could probably just tank the damage right now and just run in there and hurt him a little bit more. But, you know, I'm going to try and continue to dodge. Yes, he's dead. Alright, now we just kill the angel fetuses and we win. Alright. And we win! Wow, I can't actually believe that worked. So, now you guys get to watch the end, which I'm going to talk over, because if you really want to see the end, you can go buy the game for yourself, which I highly recommend. I will put a link to it in the description to go onto Steam and buy it. It is $5. It is completely worth your money. I have sunk well over 160 hours into this game, and it is one of my most played games that I currently have on Steam. If you want to see me if you want me to do more of these videos, post in the comments that you want to see more of these videos. Also, suggest Let's Play series, because I'm running out of stuff to show you, and I can't show you a new game every day, because I don't have a new game every day. I don't have the money for that. So, you know, suggest Let's Plays and stuff, and, you know, if you don't, I'll just come up with one myself. Purchase this game. Please. Support the developers. I believe there's a remake coming out for it sometime near the end of the year that will release for Xbox and PlayStation, as well as for the PC. But right now it's PC exclusive, which it doesn't take all you need is like a PC that can open the internet for this to work. It doesn't require that much. It runs on the Flash engine. So, if you like the video, like it, and if you want to see more content, subscribe. Don't forget to tell me what Let's Plays you want to see in the comments, or games you just want me to see me show off. I will be doing a Crisis 3 video on Tuesday for, you know, first impression's sake. I've already pre-ordered that. That'll be up soon. And for now, this is just Triple Helix signing